Have you ever noticed how some people seem to make decisions with surgical precision? They don't hesitate, they don't self-sabotage, they don't need anyone's approval. They look at a situation, and they just know what to do, even when there's risk, even when no one else would do the same. These people are part of what I call the decision-making elite, the 1% who get rich, lead, build, expand, while everyone else is still thinking about what to do. And no, this isn't a gift. It's a pattern. It's training. It's a completely different way of facing choices. Today, you'll understand how that 1% makes decisions, and more importantly, how you can start deciding like them today. This isn't motivational content. It's strategic, because a single decision, made with courage, clarity, and direction, can change the course of an entire life. If this already got you thinking, like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. You're about to access a mental code that changes everything. Phase 1. The truth behind indecision. Most people you know don't know how to decide. They hesitate, ask for too many opinions, doubt their own intuition. They confuse analysis with paralysis. Why? Because they've been conditioned to believe that making a mistake is unforgivable. The right path is always obvious. It's better to do nothing than risk doing it wrong. This conditioning creates a pattern, the pattern of self-sabotage. And while they're stuck in doubt, the 1% act, not because they're always sure, but because they decide with conviction, even in uncertainty. Key point: the 1% don't decide based on fear of failure. They decide based on the clarity of the result they want. Phase 2. How the elite clear their internal environment before deciding. Before making an important decision, what do most people do? Call someone to talk. Post a poll on Instagram. Get stuck between heart and mind. And spend days trying to predict every possible consequence. And in the end, don't decide. You know what the 1% elite do before deciding? They clean. They clean out the noise. They clean out built-up emotion. They clean out the need for approval. They clean out the rush to get it right. They even clean out the I need to decide now. Before any real choice, they do a simple ritual. Return to center. Step 1. Eliminate external noise. You'll never hear your true decision with 74 tabs open, WhatsApp groups buzzing, and 5 voices in your head. The elite go silent before deciding. This can be done in various ways. A solo walk, a phone-free shower, a night's sleep before answering, a moment of complete silence, away from screens and noise. Deciding requires presence, and presence requires silence. Step 2. Release old emotion. Many people don't realize this, but half the decisions they make aren't made in the present. They come from old traumas, old fears, unresolved memories. You're not turning down an opportunity because you don't have time. You're turning it down because you carry the fear of failing again. The 1% elite know how to tell when it's them making the decision and when it's fear speaking for them. That's why they ask, is this decision being made by me or by my pain? Am I deciding based on what I want or what I fear? What would I go for if I knew I couldn't fail? These questions break the automatic pattern. They return control to consciousness. Step 3. Clarity on what really matters. A woman in the 1% knows it's not about making the right or wrong choice. It's about choosing what supports her vision for the future. And here's the key. I don't choose what's comfortable today. I choose what strengthens me tomorrow. If the decision is uncomfortable, but gets you closer to the life you want, you already know the answer. Now leave a comment. What gets in your way the most when making an important decision? Your comment might help free other women who are stuck in the same doubt. Phase 3. The 3 filters the elite use before any decision. The 1% elite don't decide faster because they're luckier, nor because they're cold or insensitive. They decide better because they have clear internal systems. Before giving an answer, signing a contract, starting a project, investing in something, or closing a chapter, these people apply 3 filters. Fast. Direct. No fluff. You can start using them too, starting now. Filter 1. Clarity. Is this aligned with who I'm becoming? This is the first question that clears up a lot of confusion. You don't need to decide based on right or wrong. You decide based on alignment with your next level. Practical example. Someone offers you a partnership opportunity that sounds great, but would pull you away from your current focus. Before saying yes, you ask yourself, does this choice bring me closer to or further from the woman I'm becoming? The 1% elite don't fall for too good to be true promises. They stay focused, even if it means giving up the great now to gain the extraordinary later. Filter 2. Consequence. What's the impact of this decision in 6 months? Average people decide based on their current emotions. Exceptional people decide based on future consequences. Before taking a job, entering a relationship, spending money, or investing in an idea, ask yourself, if I repeat this decision for 6 months, where will I be? What does this choice build or destroy in my midterm life? This filter protects you from impulsiveness and emotional neediness. The elite don't decide based on how they feel in the moment. They decide based on long-term building. Filter 3, coherence. Does this empower me or fragment me? This filter is brutally honest. It exposes what you've been trying to justify with nice-sounding excuses. Does accepting this invitation give me power or drain my energy? Does saying yes here help me grow or distract me from my mission? The elite decide based on inner alignment. If the decision goes against your peace, energy, or boundaries, it's not for you, no matter how good it seems. This is the filter that separates strategic decisions from people-pleasing ones. When all 3 filters are on, you don't decide out of panic. You decide with awareness, confidence, and responsibility. Want to see these filters in action? Drop a comment. Which of the 3 do you most need to apply in your next big decision? That alone starts building awareness and rewiring. Phase 4. The mistakes the 1% elite don't make, and that keep 99% stuck. The 1% elite aren't perfect. They make mistakes, of course, but there are certain mistakes they've learned to avoid, systematically. These aren't just slip-ups. They're destructive patterns. They're ways of deciding that, when repeated often, keep you poor, insecure, and emotionally vulnerable. And the most dangerous part? They're common. Way too common. You've probably made one or all of them, without even realizing it. Let's break them down. Mistake 1. Letting insecurity make important decisions. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I don't think I'm ready. I better to wait a bit longer. And what if it doesn't work out? These phrases sound cautious, but they're just fear dressed up as logic. The 1% elite feel fear too, but they don't let fear make decisions for them. They listen, acknowledge it, and decide despite the fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is leading through it. Mistake 2. Waiting for total certainty. Women in the 1% know. Certainty comes after the decision. Clarity shows up in motion. If you're waiting for a sign from the universe, a guarantee it'll work out, external approval, you'll never move. Average people want to walk with GPS. The 1% walk with a compass. Direction is enough. The rest is built along the way. Mistake 3. Deciding to please others. This might be the quietest mistake. How many times have you taken on a project out of guilt? Said yes to avoid conflict? Done something because you didn't want to disappoint? The result? You get frustrated, overwhelmed, and you betray yourself. The elite don't decide to please. They decide based on values. Even if others don't get it right away, even if it makes them seem harsh or selfish, the woman who tries to please everyone sacrifices the woman she was born to be. Mistake 4. Deciding from a place of scarcity. This shows up in phrases like, better this than nothing. What if another chance doesn't come? I can't miss this opportunity. These decisions come from a fear of lack. And when you decide from scarcity, you reinforce scarcity. The elite decide from structural abundance. They know there's always more. More possibilities, more resources, more paths. They don't rush from anxiety. They move with direction. If you cut these 4 mistakes from your life, you'll already be deciding better than 90% of the people around you. You've just accessed one of the most powerful skills of the 1% elite, the ability to decide with awareness, direction, and strength. Not because they always know the way, but because they know who they're becoming. And now comes the most important point. None of this matters if you don't decide to use it. Deciding isn't just choosing between A or B. Deciding is affirming an identity. It's declaring to the world, and to yourself, who you are from this moment on. The final 1% code. It doesn't matter if the world doesn't see you as elite yet. When you decide like the 1%, the world starts treating you like one. That's what separates those living an average life from those living with purpose, impact, and wealth. You don't need validation. You need sustained decision. Drop a comment below. What phrase or idea in this video flipped a switch inside you? When you write it down, you anchor it. And when you share, you inspire. And if this content brought you clarity, power, or direction, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell. You just took the first step into the elite that not only decides differently, but lives differently. Now the question is simple. Will you keep deciding like everyone else? Or will you decide like someone who was born to be the exception? The choice, as always, is yours.